Okay, this is the first after waking up and second video of the day. And yeah, it's just so funny to me that whenever I wake up, I'm just bored. I'm just flat out bored. And I barely have anything to do. Go scrolling or whenever I have a client call, prepare for that. Or yeah, like eat something, wash up and whatever. But yeah, it's just so funny because because the further down the day we go, no matter how the day starts, it compounds, and I have more stuff to do. I run out of time most of the time to do them. I stretch the day out, and after that, I go most of the time to bed with thinking, okay, I could have squeezed more work into it. And the funny thing is that tomorrow that I wake up, the next day that I wake up, I'm still bored. And it's just so fascinating that I see this pattern repeating over and over again. And I still am fully aware about it, but it is still happens as well. Like, yeah, I don't know what happens when I'm asleep, but after I wake up, the boredom takes over, and I literally have nothing to do. But with these kind of recordings that I'm gonna do, um, yeah, I think I'm gonna catch the pattern more clearly, and it is funny that on one hand, I know these are not gonna be viral worthy kind of videos, um, but on the other hand, you never know. And on the third hand, basically, people have two hands. On the third hand, let's say, on the other hand, um, I'm just a curious person, and I just do things because I'm just curious about the result of it, and I do care about. This is gonna be quite funny, to be honest. Imagine being a writer, being a lawyer, consultant, and having like so many paths to like um to actual like income and whatever, and suddenly you go viral, and that's gonna be your main source of income. I would actually don't I wouldn't actually mind that because any money is money, but it's just weird to think about that as soon as you would go like um I'm getting ahead of myself, but um I've seen this happen so many times that it isn't that far fetched either. So it's that as soon as you go up to like the first 10K is the hardest part. On Instagram is like the first 10K, 20K. On YouTube is the first 2K subscribers, followers, whatever. And after that, it compounds because it shows in your energy, in your actual kind of sense of commitment to produce something that these people are gonna actually enjoy watching or learn something, or basically it's gonna be worthwhile. At least it is for me. So um yeah, it's just so funny because I could just stop this and never do it, but I'm also gonna be curious about, okay, 300 videos in 30 days, what would happen um, if I did this? So I'm gonna be doing this. And on the other hand, is that the other thing that actually surprises me is that whenever I talk or whenever I start recording, either writing or recording these videos, or even talking to people who inspire me in all walks of life, um, I see myself thinking and be surprised by new ideas. So that joy alone, specifically in writing and talking to people who are in that kind of wavelength of inspiration, it just feels having been worth it in the retrospect. um because at least at the end of the day, for me, um I have like zero kind of care in the world regarding who sees this, who thinks what, because at the end of the day, um this is the gift and the curse of the numbers, which is like when you have 8 billion people, every single of these 8 billion people are not going to care about anything regarding other people, other than they can identify with them, they can mm, use and leverage these people and association with these people, or they can just basically feel safe and seen by these people. Every of these three categories requires you to have a tremendous amount of social validation, and that social validation comes from the first step, and the first step is to literally having seen yourself achieve that, or individually have attracted so many kind of validation factors from other people. Let's say one video gets one comment, then the first comment is gonna be the hardest one. The first follower is gonna be the hardest one, not only for the person who's gonna get it, but for the person who's gonna actually do it. So the first comment is gonna want the most amount of courage from the person. The second comment is gonna be inspired by the first comment, that okay, someone validated this, so I'm not gonna be crazy validating this myself. Then the third, then the fourth. By the 10th or by the 100th comment or like or whatever, this is just a kind of social norm. By the 1000, by the 10,000, this is a social obligation, because everyone is liking this, everyone is validating this, everyone is voting on this having value. So if you are not doing so, you are gonna be the odd one out, at least in your own mind, because people actually are not gonna track who, and nobody is. People never track. Let's say, yeah, someone who barely is known or not known at all, comments or kind of likes 1 million or 10 million or 100 million followers kind of account. That's kind of there's asymmetry of actual social validation, unless that person is gonna be rage baiting, or the person is gonna be attracting some kind of attention towards himself or herself by that comment. Then he or she is gonna get the negative or some kind of resemblance of kinship from people having the same idea. So the same cycle is gonna start. And yeah, because it's just so funny, because the more I write, the more I think, the more I kind of scrutinize the same kind of thing, not in an overthinking kind of way, but in a structured kind of way, the more I understand that most of the things that people are told, most of the things we are told, actually have no kind of logical validity to them. And you have like neuroscience, you have actual logic, you have philosophy, whatever, going back and forth with a couple of things that is a known fact to most people, but it actually is not. Like the same thing goes like with the culture of gratitude. Gratitude is just you. Um, designing your mentality and narrowing down your neural pathways to focus on the positive, because the more you focus on the positive, the more you're gonna be kind of looking for it, because it gives you sense of familiarity. But the worship of gratitude as if it's a kind of a cultural thing, or is it kind of a identifier of a good behavior and good personhood, that doesn't exist. It's just a strategic kind of mental tuning. That's it. And you can literally say, okay, this is good, instead of I'm grateful for this, which has been ritualized. You can say, hey, I woke up, I have a nice bed, I have good health, I have whatever, I have great food to eat, I have a peaceful kind of morning. And you could say, this is good, more of this, I want more of this. You send that kind of order to your brain, and your brain is going to be focused on that, rather than waking up and saying, okay, I could have been waiting in a palace. I could have been waking up in a palace. And your mind immediately looks for the reasons that you're gonna keep continuing not waking up in a palace, because this is what you're telling your brain. You're not telling your brain, hey, get me a palace. You're telling your brain, hey, I'm not waking up in my brain, and your brain is, I'm not waking up in a palace, and your brain is gonna continue keeping you sustained in that kind of satisfactory a kind of a place, because your mind is looking for your survival and your stability. And when you're saying, today I'm not waking up in a palace, tomorrow your brain is gonna want the same. And this is why people are stuck in their actual circles of going nowhere, because they say, this is bad, but how it translates to the brain is that this needs to happen tomorrow. So what gratitude does, for example, is that it says, this is good, more of this, and it doesn't even mention the bad. Because when you're saying, okay, the food is great, the food is going to continue being great, and your mind is going to make sure of that your actions are going to be aligned into actually continuing the quality of the food. When you say your health is this way, you say your financial situation is this way, that's going to be the bare minimum for your brain. And when you focus on the good more and more, your brain is gonna literally find and reward itself by finding the better version of them, because the better version of them includes the bare minimum version of them as well. So your stability is gonna continue today and tomorrow. So yeah, to end the video, this is kind of a lengthy video, is that I could say, okay, I'm posting this, and after 300 videos, I'm not gonna gain anything. Yes, maybe I'm still gonna be at 0 followers, and it's gonna hurt a lot. But at the same time, I'm gonna be digging through my own skull and finding reasons of 10 videos a day, every single day, and this is gonna keep me sharp. That's that's the writing as well. And out of my writing, I was invited to European Parliament. I made a kind of so many things, but the writing continues, because the writing is just excavation of my own mind. And yeah, that's